Welcome to the Lock Pop Talks podcast. I am your host, Tyree Wilson. And whether you are a man or a woman who is either married, separated, standing for your marriage, or divorced, this podcast is here to support you. But what I want to talk about is something that a common misconception when it comes to relationships. And that common misconception is this, that your partner, husband or wife, is responsible for your happiness. And I do not believe that to be true. So, hear me out. I'm not saying this is everybody. So if you listen to this podcast, clearly you must have already decided that I already understand that I'm not responsible for their happiness, nor are they responsible for mine. However, this may be one of the reasons that you're standing for your marriage as of right now. And not necessarily saying it's you guys. It could be the prodigal spouse, because they believe that you were supposed to make them happy regardless of how they treated you. So if I struck a chord, if I hit any, if it feels like that's what's happening in your relationship, hit me with a like or share, subscribe, whatever, or just comment amen in the comment section. I'll know that you guys are out there. But I have heard this, and not necessarily so much on, not so much on Instagram or like Twitter or anything like that. More so on Facebook. Facebook, you guys, and I use social media, but I am so against the brainwashing that social media brings, especially Facebook. But hear me out. Every time you see someone who's scrolling through, or not seeing, say you scroll through your own timeline, you might see obviously the opinions of others. As far as a relationship goes, a man is supposed to do X, Y, and Z. A woman is supposed to do X, Y, and Z in order for a man to feel great, in order for a woman to feel like a queen or something like that. There's nothing wrong. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong. Don't get me mistaken. There's nothing wrong with being as good as a partner as you can be for your spouse. And I think that's a very good goal to have. But to say that in order for me to be the best version of myself, you must first treat me better. Same thing goes for you guys. I see you guys post up something. I bet you my girl, if she don't cook like this, I don't want her. I know that these might be things made in jest. Maybe this is a joke, to certain people. And if you were to call them out, which I struggle not to do, is calling people out about the stuff that they share online. You may not want to say anything. You may not want to do anything, and you keep it going. I think it's the same to let a post sometimes slide or what people think like that without really picking their brain, if you will, or kind of asking them like, hey, okay, what made you want to post something like that? I mean, it came across my timeline. So clearly, if you put it out there, you must be ready for the world to read it and react to it some kind of way, because we're not posting things just to be posting things. I'm pretty sure you could find something better to do with your time. But if we talk about these things, that let's say, for example, a man who decides that a woman's supposed to do everything that what they believe a woman is supposed to do: cook, clean, take care of the kids, love me upright, and be my backbone at the same time. So if a woman isn't doing those things, you're telling me that if she's not doing those things, or maybe she's not doing all of those things, are you saying that she's not worth being a partner with, that she's not worth being married to, that she's not worth the mistakes that she's making, you being able to forgive her for the things that she's done? That's a question for the guys. Ladies, I'm the same way with you. I'm going to ask you the same question. If a man isn't making you his top priority, or you feel like he's not making you his top priority, because there are some people out there, if they don't have any attention towards them, there are women. If I don't have his attention, he's not the one for me. Okay, maybe he doesn't, but he's human and he has only so many hours in the day. He cannot give you all of his attention. I think if he's a little bit more considerate towards you, that may be a more healthier goal for him to reach for. But as far as attention goes, if he's got a lot of things going on, and maybe the kids are pulling him, maybe work is pulling him, maybe he's got his mind on other things. If he's not being unable to share a moment with you, then it would be healthy for your relationship to give this man a pass. And I don't know how many days he would need, if he even needs a day. Maybe he needs a few hours. It's the same thing. You can ask yourself, how am I when I need some downtime, when I need to think about some things alone or apart? Those are things you can do for yourself. And I think it's great for you if you were to speak up. Listen, I need, just some time to get my mind right. If he is to tell you, I need some time to get my mind right, or what's the guy's famous line? I just want to chill. I just want to chill. And that means exactly what he's saying. He's looking to just chill. So don't feel like he is necessarily ignoring you. He's not ignoring you. He's just reprogramming himself, getting his energy right, and he will come back to you because, let's face it, you might have something, you got something that he's going to want at some point, and he's not going to treat you. He's not going to come back and treat you like any old chick in the street. He's not going to treat you like some woman that he paid for. I'm not saying he paid for anybody, but he's not going to do that to you. He's going to come back to you. He's going to want to be tender. He's going to want to be close. He's going to want to rub your back. And yeah, he might, want to rub on your behind or something like that. But that's how a man works himself back into the groove. If you love him and you miss him and his touch, his smell, the way he treats you, then that's how your man reconnects with you. Have a little patience. For the fellas, I'm not saying that it's 100%. It's not 100% of the time that you cannot make your wife happy, that you can't make your spouse happy, or that you are not responsible for her happiness. It's just the illusion that if she doesn't make you happy, then you have no type of relationship whatsoever. Women, and I've come to, just erase my mind about my preconception of what a woman is and all of that great stuff that they put out in the world. Women are, I hate to say it, but they're insecure. They are. But not insecure to the point where they feel like you're going to leave them. It's insecure to a point like they just want to be reminded and shown that you care, even if it feels silly, even if it logically makes no sense that a woman would be so needy or so wanting of your attention. You got to be able to take some time and say, okay, this is what she wants. She does want me for now, and I am her husband. I should give her those things. And you do. And it's not selfish it might be selfish on her part to maybe want to stop you from doing what you're doing in order for you to give her some attention. But it's selfless on your part. It's selfless. If, you're giving her some attention, and yeah, you could be doing things differently. You could be doing things better. But if you would just spend a few minutes doing what she asked of you as far as intimacy and attention, it will help your marriage a lot, even if it's just a few minutes, even if it's a big bear hug. Maybe it's a bear hug with a body rub or something, or maybe she just want to feel like you want her. Go ahead and kiss her, squeeze her butt. Do those things. Send a text message, give a phone call. Once a woman's mind gets going, it's hard for them to reel it in. And this is not another task for you to take on. I don't want you to feel like, oh, Ty just gave me another thing I have to do for a woman that wants nothing to do with me. No, it's just sending a little bit more confirmation her way that she is on your mind or that you care about her. It's little stuff. If she was, put it this way. If she liked your football team, she knew every position in the football team, and she had a opinion that favored your own about your favorite football team or basketball team, you would most definitely feel like, holy crap, she watches what I watch, she likes what I like. Oh, I'm digging her. The same thing goes for like guys who are kind of like nerdy, like me. If my wife, she's not really into like the anime and the manga, the comic book stuff like that, but she understands who like Cyclops and Wolverine. She knows Goku and Vegeta. She even has an opinion about every character and how they present themselves. To me, I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. But it makes me stop. And I feel like, and she doesn't really like that stuff, but she knows about it. And those are those little hints that show me that she does care. And that makes me happy because that's something that I take interest in that she may not necessarily have interest in, but she cared enough to like join me in that conversation. So ladies, if you're listening, I just gave you a tip. If you know something that your man likes, maybe you, just for the sake of the relationship, you should know a little something about it. And if you don't, then great, because that means you get to start from the bottom up and there's nowhere else for you to go as far as knowing his interests and things like that. I've seen this many times, even in wives who don't, and women who don't necessarily understand what their husbands are into. They're just mindful enough to just ask about it and then listen to him talk. Another misconception, you guys, is that men don't like to talk. That is nonsense. I could tell you right now, I used to work at a car shop here in Rochester, New York, and it was all men. I think there were like 2 women in the entire building, probably the entire establishment. But men talked all day long, and we talked about all kinds of stuff. And don't think that there's any shortage amount of drama, because there was drama all through that shop. And guys would talk about anything from their wives, their girlfriends, their kids, what they want to do with their lives, what they want to do with their education, what they want to do when they retire, where they want to go for vacation, the things that they believe in, the theologies that we share with one another. And it really felt like a brotherhood while you were in there. You don't always agree with your brothers. You're not always cool with your brothers, but you respect them. And so that's what it was. It was a lot of respect, but trust and believe there was no shortage of drama while we're in there. So if your man is talking about he's not the talkative type, you don't have to say anything, but understand that he might be lying. Most chances are he's lying. He's pretty talkative. We just haven't tapped into what it is that he likes to talk about. That doesn't mean you go ahead and ask him. Sometimes if you're silent too, he'll start talking, because awkward silence is weird for everybody, and the mind wants to break that silence. So we'll talk about something, even if he asks you how you're doing, just put it back on him. No, how are you doing? Put the conversation back on him. When I felt under the pressure of making my wife's happiness a priority to me, I felt like I could do nothing right, because I could get up in the morning, I could clean, I could cook, I could take care of the kids, I could walk the dog, I could pay the bills, gas her car, wash her car, respect her mother, ask her how her day went, wash the clothes, like whatever. When I was vying for my wife's happiness, I was doing all those things, totally ignored about what I wanted to do. And at the end of the day, if I didn't either get some type of tender and quality time with her, or intimate time with her, or at least maybe she decided to make me a plate, even though I may have cooked, maybe she wants to make sure I ate, or